Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and these oysters on the screen are the work of Blobs, who created, of course, our fantastic Patreon Sudoku puzzle hunt that was January's monthly reward. It's over now, but there is a brilliant page of solves, of the numbers of solves. So this is just before the finish to the puzzle hunt. So I wonder if we'll get to 1,000 solves. I've recorded this a bit before the end of the hunt. I wonder if we'll get to 1,000 solves for home at last. You can see the diminishing number of people who have either begun and not yet finished or fallen short somewhere. It's very impressive. Where was the biggest drop-off, would you say? Difficult. Early on, maybe. Puzzles 2 to 3, Thror's Map, maybe, or the Goblin Cave. I mean, that was a cave puzzle. Pretty tough. So the solution videos will be gradually going up. There are lots of them to put up, so sorry if that's slower than you wanted. That's Patreon for you. That is our Sudoku hunt. Anyway, there's also crosswords and connections videos. There's all kinds of other Sudoku solves and those how-to videos. Anyway, that's Patreon. There's also our apps, which are wonderful and feature Line Sudoku and Killer Sudoku like today, but also Fog of War, the brilliant newest app that we've got. And there's our merchandise like this Knowledge Bomb water bottle from Cracking the Cryptic. And SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD. Check out the links under the video. But the first link is to Oysters by Blobs. I just checked. We have never done a puzzle called Oysters before in the thousands and thousands of videos we've made, but this one really does look like oysters on the seabed, and each oyster is encasing a cage. Right, let's look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row. We've got a 9 in that row. Every column and every 3 by 3 box. Along green lines, adjacent digits but differ by at least 5. That's the German whisper rule. Along pink lines, digits form a consecutive sequence in any order. So this could be 2, 3, 4, and 5, or 6, 7, 8, and 9 in some order. Digits in cages, these are the pearls in the oyster, must sum to the given total. And it's a really simple rule set and a very delightful graphic. Let's hope it's a delightful solve. Knowing Blobs, it will be. I've no idea how long it's going to take, but you can give it a try on the first link under the video in the description field. Now, I'm going to warn you, we will be streaming on Tuesday, so 10 p.m. our time, that's 5 p.m. Eastern time in the States. We will be having a go at Nurikabi World, a Sudoku game that's been recommended to Simon. Not a Sudoku game, a Nurikabi game that's been recommended to Simon. And we'll be talking our way through that. Do join us then. And there's a new puzzle hunt coming on the February the 1st as well for Patreons, and I think it's by Panthera. Anyway, let's have a look at this one first. Let's restart the clock. Let's get cracking. So we've got a couple of cages which have known numbers in, a 9-8 pair and a 1-3 pair for a 17 cage and a 4 cage. The 15 must contain digits from 6, 7, 8, 9. The 11s and 9s are a bit more variable. Right, what's happening around this 9-8 box then? That doesn't quite prevent 9 and 8 appearing on the green lines, because if that's a 9, 9 could still go there. It would be very interesting if it did, but it doesn't. Oh, what does it do for the Renban, this purple line? No, yeah. It doesn't keep 9-8 off that either. Oh, okay, sorry. Box 4 is more use. Because again, we know the digits. Now, this time, box 4 is more use, because those two yellow digits see every single digit. Each one of them sees every digit on both purple and green lines, either in the same row or in the same box. And that means none of the digits on the purple and green line can be 1 or 3. That means that this Renban doesn't contain a 1 or 3. It has to be selected it can't contain a 2 because you need a 3. So it must be selected from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And therefore it's always going to have 6 and 7 on it. What does it mean for the whisper? These two cells. Oh, look, yes, the thing we can do on Renban, on German whisper lines, is alternate between high and low. Now, I don't know which is high and which is low, but we must alternate. So green lines can never contain 5s because they have no possible Sudoku neighbours. They alternate between higher than 5 and lower than 5, otherwise the two digits would be too close to each other that were both higher than 5, say, next to each other. And 4s and 6s are difficult to place. However, that's because 4s and 6s can only be where they only have where two neighbours can't see each other. Actually, that doesn't apply to many cells in this puzzle. That can't be a 4 or a 6. But that could be, because both of those could be 9 if that was 4, and that could be 4 because it's on the end of the line. Yeah, I reckon there are literally only those two cells in this puzzle to which that monogamous rule applies. So we'll forget that for today. However, what I did discover here, and this is going to matter everywhere in this puzzle, is that those two digits are of different polarities. One is lower than 5 and one is higher than 5. And they are joined, of course, by the oyster, or by the seabed line, the Renban line. And if these have to be different highness or lowness, but joined by these cells, then 5 must always be on the seabed somewhere. I know I'm marking across boxes in some cases there, but that's incredibly useful. That is an X-wing on 5s in columns 3 and 4. That means we've got to put a 5 on that oyster and on that oyster, and that's going to use up the 5s in columns 3 and 4. They can't appear anywhere else in those columns, because the two 5s in those columns will be in those oyster cells. So that's not a 5, so the 5 on this oyster is there. A strange first digit to get in this puzzle. Now, these, they can't roam very far, because if 5 is on the oyster, and these have to be 1 high and 1 low, aren't they always from 3, 4, 6, 7? They are, because either the lowest place you could start is 3 to ensure you had a higher number. So then it would be 3, 4, 5, 6. The highest place you can start is 7. 7, 6, 5, 4 to ensure you have a lower number. So 6 is always on these Renbans as well. But no, the much more important point is that the outie bits, they're always from 3, 4, 6, 7. And in this row, they are not from 3 because we've got the 1, 3 pair here. And therefore 4 is one of these digits. And that must neighbour a 9. So 9 is in one of these cells. And 3 cannot be on this Renban. So it is 4, 5, 6, 7. That must, I don't know, it could be it can't be, we can't have a 6 in those cells, because that would require a 1 in one of these by the German whisper rule. 6 can only neighbour 1. So we've got 4, 5, 7 on this Renban, and that digit is a 6. And these are touching 4 and 7 on the Renban, on the whisper, I mean. And therefore one of them is a 9 and the other one is a 2 because it can't be a 1. So that's a little pair. We have 4, 7, 8 as a trio in this box. I still don't know which is high and which is low. That may come later. Now, how can we use this discovery of 3, 4, 6, 7 elsewhere? It's going to cause a virtual pair of 6, 7 in this row. Not sure, right. I'm sure there's something. Oh, this 9 cage can't contain 2, 9. Now, can we rule out 4, 5 or 3, 6 here and make it a 1, 8 cage? I don't know. feels like we might be able to, but I can't understand how. I'll tell you what we can do. We can rule out 4 from these cells because they would need a 9 in the top row on the whisper. So there is a 3 on this renban, and it must be a 3, 4, 5, 6 renban, and that's a 4, 5 pair. Now this 11 cage can't be 3, 8 or 6, 5. It's 2, 9, which I think is likely, or 4, 7, which I think is unlikely. Why do I think 4, 7 is unlikely? I don't rightly know. That would cause an X-wing on 4s, which would make that a 7. Yeah, no, I might be wrong. Anyway, there's going to be an 8 and a 1 pair up here. I know that because 3 needs a neighbour that isn't 9, and 6 needs a neighbour that has to be 1. It's funny how this works in pairs. Now that's an X-wing on 8s. Is that any use? No. I'm going to have to consider another oyster, said the walrus. What's going on here then? 3, 4 and 7 are ruled out. Right, these pink lines, the renbans, we've said they're always either 3, 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 6, 7. So their digits are selected from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This pair sees a 3 in one of those cells and a 4, 7 pair. So that is a 5, 6 pair. Now 6 can't appear here and 7 must be the high digit. So 4 is the low digit. This pair is a 9, which can't go in that cell because of the 9. They're very helpful given 9. That's a 1 or a 2. We now finally on one of these whispers know the ordering of high and low. And that's a 4 and that's a 7. And this is now a 7 by Sudoku, and we know the ordering of high and low here. I'm literally going to get rid of the colouring because it's done its job, hasn't it? Maybe it would have been nice to colour all the pearls that are the killer cages. But anyway, this cage is not 2, 7 or 4, 5. It's 3, 6 or 1, 8. This row needs 2, 8 and 9 in it. Is this not done? 4 is looking at that cell, so that's not a 4. 7's looking at that one. 9's looking at that one, has been from the beginning. I never spotted that, doesn't really matter. That's not a 9 and that's not a 2, both for different reasons, but both the same conclusion. I thought we'd be sort of, 7, 7, that's a 7, right. That's an 8, and that does sort this cage. It's now a 3, 6 cage. Now I've got a 6 X-wing. The 2 6s in column 6 and 7 are used there, so not here. Don't think that does anything. This row needs a 1, 5 pair. Right, what are the big digits here? The whisper digits, not big, but what are the... Right, 3 or 4 is connecting to 8 or 9, and 7 or 6 is connecting to 1 or 2. So look, that is going to be a 1, 2, 8, 9 quad. A very surprising find, but very, very useful. That has to be a 5. If that's a 1, 2, 8, 9 quad in the box, that's a 5, that's 6, that's 3. That's why it's useful. 6, 5. This is a 4 to complete the box. That's not allowed to be a 9. That's not allowed to be a 4 now. That already removed 6 from there. I keep thinking the puzzle's done, and it's absolutely not done. It's very neatly organised. Now these are from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could pencil mark them with the candidates, don't really want to. How about these green digits? They're from 1, 2, 8, 9 as well. It doesn't feel quite as helpful on this oyster. It's funny funny, isn't it? These are from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Suddenly I am candidate marking them, just because I'm noticing columns 3 and 4 are very full of candidates and stuff. Oh, 3 and 7 are never down here, are they? On the oyster bed, actually. No, that's really interesting. I think I'm going to be able to place 3 in column 3. Now, let me just check my facts. If 3 was on the oyster bed, I don't know. No, this is not a safe conclusion. It just turns out they haven't been yet. But 3 could be on the oyster bed if these were 4 and 6. These could be 1 and 9, and there's no reason that's not happening. So I need to wind my neck in a little bit there and just calm down. Oh, that's a 1 to complete the row. That's an I-wing when there's only 1 possible digit left. That's huge. How have I not spotted the ordinary Sudoku? Because I wasn't looking for it. I was busy doing other things in the puzzle, is why. I did get that to be a 3, which was what I was expecting, but not for the false reason that I didn't make. This seems to have to be a 2 in the column now. Now, that must connect to a 7. So now we know this is a 4, 5, 6, 7 Renban. That is low, and it can't be 3 because that's not on the Renban. So 5 and 6 are on it. 4 and 5 there. I must know what this digit is. 7, so the cage is a 7-4 cage. Probably, yes, by German whisper rules, those have been worked out. That still hasn't. Now, this is not allowed to be a 7 by Sudoku, so it's low. So this is high, this is low, this is high. These don't have a 4 on, but there must be a 4 on this Renban, so that's there, touching a 9. This is low. Now this has to be, I don't know, you see, I wanted to say it has to be a 4, 5, 6, 7 Renban, but again, I don't have the wherewithal to say that. This is either a 5-3 or a 5-6 pair. However, the 3 or 6 must go in this cell, so this is a 5. And this Renban is not finished. However, this cage is by the 9. So now, and that's a 6. And that's a 1. That must be right. And this is a 3. And we did get a 3 on an oyster bed. Oh, very good. Very good, Blobs. Because I sort of thought that was impossible. And if you made that false assumption and ruled 3 out of the oyster beds, you would go wrong. So hats off to you for managing to include one of those. I dare say it wasn't deliberate, but it did work. 1, 2 there. That's not allowed to be a 9. So that's a 2-8 pair. That's a 9. This is a 2, 3, 8. We know where the 3 goes at least. 2 and 8 are done by Sudoku. Now we've got the 8 in box 9. That's a naked 6. Not a naked orange. 6, 5, 4. Still 1 line digit to do in the puzzle. Oh, 2 is in this box. 3 and 8, we do know the order. 8, 3, that does 8, 2. This bottom row, I suspect, is susceptible to completion. It is. Then we've got a 2 and an 8 to put in column 2. Let's do these by columns. 7 and 2 there. Can I do this one? Yes, 1 and 6. Now, this is 2, 4, 8. So 2, 8, 4. This is 3, 5, 9. And this is 1, 3, 7. There, oh, 3 in the corner to finish off. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light proving its position. That's a lovely puzzle. I mean, it's not very hard, and that's a great thing. But there are some beautiful deductions within it. And even a surprise 3 on the oyster bed. I mean, it's really nice when you get the idea that these have to be different polarities and are therefore linked by 5 and something else on the oyster beds. Very clever. I probably foolishly called these oyster beds throughout, but I think you knew what I meant, the base of the oyster, where it's supposedly sitting on the seabed. Great stuff. Thank you for watching, and we will be back with more Sudoku tomorrow. Bye for now.